Kellor's our founding mother because Frances Kellor defeated scientific racism, officially greeted the Ellis Island immigrants for the government, and founded the National Urban League. Kellor unseated scientific racism. During her time, the leading scientific racist of the world is a guy named Cesar Lombroso. He argued that bad genes made people criminals, and he had weird theories in his books like The Female Offender that if you had a sessile jaw, you were likely to be not only a prostitute, but a lesbian. So Kellor went to battle with him. She replicated his studies that she called weird. She measured northern women, white women in prison. She measured northern white women in colleges. And then she went south and went through the South for 2 years and measured African American women in southern penitentiaries. Here's one part of the chemograph system that Kellor used to measure women. And here's another view of the chemograph measuring machine in the American Female Offender article. At the end, she defeated this idea that genetics leads to criminality. So if you're a modern person and you believe that crime is often caused by environment, therefore we have to have programs like Head Start, if this is part of modern America anyhow, then she helped create this view in modern America. The ancestors of over 100 million modern Americans came through Ellis Island, and when they arrived, bad people tried to rip them off with poor exchange rates, usurious hotel fees, and fees for non-existent or exploitative jobs. To stop this, New York State created the Immigration Commission and the Bureau of Industries and Immigration. As the head of both of these from 1908 to 1912, Kellor was the government official in charge of the Ellis Island generation during its peak. As the head government official, Kellor set up and ran an office where the Ellis Island immigrants came ashore. There, she personally took their complaints and investigated abuses. As the head government official, she also inspected private as well as city and state labor camps where these immigrants worked. So if you are one of the 100 million plus Americans who trace their ancestry to Ellis Island, then your family line was directly impacted, like mine, by Frances Kellor. To those of us whose roots go back to Ellis Island, Kellor is our founding mother in a very personal way, as she was the first introduction to America for your family line. In the early 1900s, there was a large migration of African American women coming from the south of the United States to the north. I love this photo. It so perfectly symbolizes the African American women going north. These women are dressed for the city, but if you look, the home behind them says country, says south. And I love the tie on the right, especially as most of these African American women will end up doing the gender stereotype job of domestic worker. This African American woman is Victoria Earl Matthews, who established New York's White Rose Girls' Home. This home greeted and protected the many African American women migrating north in much the same way as other groups greeted and protected immigrants. Kellor understood this migration north as a national issue. So in 1906, based on Matthews' work, Kellor founded the National League for the Protection of Colored Women. Kellor formed Matthews-style organizations and started coordinating them nationally across the women's path of migration. In a real way, Kellor's network replicated the Underground Railroad. In 1910, when this picture of Kellor with her girlfriend Mary Dreyer was taken, she fused her National League for the Protection of Colored Women with two other groups to form the National Urban League. The National Urban League remains one of the preeminent African American organizations in the nation, and, reflecting Kellor's influence, the National Urban League still emphasizes practical solutions in areas such as housing, healthcare, and employment. So if you work for the National Urban League, or you just support them, or you've actually benefited from them, again, she really impacted you as a modern American. So again, we've got three key pieces of evidence that more than anybody else, Frances Kellor is the founding mother of modern America. So please go to the comment section, debate this proposition and the special added bonus question. Which of these three, attacking racism, greeting immigrants, or African American organizing, would you like to see more of today? Tell us why in the comments section below.